1984 was the Wild West for transforming robot toys in the United States of America. Everybody knew it's what kids and parents were clamoring over, and so every toy company out there was trying to churn out their own transforming robot toys or import a toy line from overseas, and as a result you had so many toy lines on the shelves trying to beat each other out for attention, from Transformers to GoBots to Voltron to Zybots to Motobot to Robotron to Chronoform to Diachrome to, I could go on all day long. There were so many. And while some of them were just cheap and expensive imitations of the larger, more expensive toys, others were doing some really innovative and wild stuff. And to be clear, Transformers wasn't necessarily always the best toy line. It was just the best marketed. And it had an expensive toy line, and it was affordably priced for what it was. But it certainly wasn't the only quality thing around. There were some really good toy lines out there. I did a video recently on the Toy Fong robotic radio, which was in some ways far higher quality than the G1 Transformers. And everybody had it. But there are other toy lines like that as well. Some were really, really quality. Some were just cheap. Some were just frankly bizarre, as toy lines were trying to gauge what kids and parents wanted from these transforming robot toy lines. So today we're going to look at one that is a bit of a mystery to me. I had it as a kid. I don't remember someone buying it for me, but I know I definitely had this toy. I know many of my friends had this toy, but I don't know why. Today we're going to look at the Buddy L Chargertron. Such a weird toy, and at first glance you might think, this is a cheap and expensive piece of crap. Well, it wasn't. This thing retailed for $9.99, which 1984 was reasonably big money. For comparison's sake, if you wanted to buy a G1 Autobot in 1984, let's say you wanted to get yourself a Sunstreaker or a Blue Streak or a Prowl or a Jazz, they would cost $7. And the toy sold well. The Buddy L Chargertron is a toy that was around everywhere. Many of my friends had it. I had it. And if you look on eBay, there's tons of copies of it available out there that people have in their collections. This toy sold well at that price point, which is kind of curious to me because why? What are we missing? Part of the appeal might well have been another creative marketing campaign. The Buddy L Chargertron had the most infectiously obnoxious theme song toy commercials from the 1980s.
Switch on Chargertron, robots like you've never seen. Switch on Chargertron, supersonic machines. Rev the meter till it's red. Launch out the tracker. Switch on Chargertron, now it's an attacker. Switch on Chargertron, always changing, rearranging. He's surprising. He's disguising. Chargertron.
Chargertron. There's Protagatron and Antagatron, each sold separately from Buddy L.
That's pretty bad. And Protagatron and Antagatron? Oh boy. But that commercial ran a lot. People knew it. People remember it. And if that's not evidence enough this toy was creatively marketed and widespread, it was even being used to endorse chicken restaurants.
That's why Pioneer Chicken's light years ahead in taste. You can get a Chargertron. Robots you can collect.
You can get a Chargertron, a $9.99 value free with any chicken bucket and large Pepsi value pack not included while supplies last at participating Pioneers.
You can get a Chargertron.
Now at Pioneer. Batteries not included.
So the Buddy L Chargertron was well promoted. It sold well. It was a widespread toy. My question is, why? Especially at that price point. So we're going to head to the work table and find out exactly what the appeal of the 1984 Buddy L Chargertron was. Well, here is the Buddy L Chargertron, and you'll see that we have two different robots here, one of which is nothing to look at whatsoever. In fact, for a $9.99 price point in 1984, you think they could at least make his arms have a joint where they could swivel down and make him look like a robot who's not constantly holding his arms up in just a very strange pose. Very, very lazy. On the other hand, I do like the smaller robot. Again, they're both the, in this case, they're both the Antagatron. Neither has their own specific name nor personality. But this is a pretty cute toy. I like the chrome. And I like his vehicle mode, that little futuristic thing. The Protagatron transforms the exact same way, by the way. I just like the Antagatron a little bit better, so that's the one I'm sharing with you today. But yeah, cool vehicle mode. This guy's vehicle mode is, well, this. Once again, he's kind of a waste of space. I'll be honest, as a kid, I played with this part and ignored this part entirely because I thought it looked stupid. What I was missing, though, I was a bit of a spoiled/neglected kid. My parents bought me cool toys, but didn't really play with me or take time with me. No one really showed me how this thing works, and had they, I might have understood the appeal of this toy a lot better and enjoyed it a lot more as well. So let me show you what the Charger Tron is actually supposed to do. So what we're going to do here is we're going to combine the two together into one piece. And very importantly, for now, I'm going to, there's a little switch on the back of this guy, and I am going to move it this way, which is going to keep him in vehicle mode, because there are two different ways in which this can work. And it took me until now to learn how this guy works. First of all, he does take batteries, AA batteries, which are right back there. And what we're going to do is, you're going to see back here, but you're going to see there's a little meter here. It's green right now. And there's a lever as well. And what we're going to do is very simply, we are going to stay down. It undid itself. We're going to press this down until that meter turns red. So watch with me. You see how it does that? When we get it all the way to red, I'm going to press this button down all the way, and you're going to see what happens. So here we go. Ready? It launches. I mean, Hot Wheels has had launchers by this point. Launchers are nothing new, but it's a very high-powered launcher, and that in itself is kind of memorable. What's more fun, though, is what happens when I switch this the other way. So we're going to try it one more time, and this time the difference is you'll notice that I've turned the switch to the right-hand side, which means this toy is going to transform after it launches this time. So that's going to be a treat to see. I'll connect them together again. This time I'm actually going to pull this thing off camera so you can see what happens when I launch it, because it's not going to happen until towards the end of the launch. So I'm going to prime it. That's what I'm doing over here. I'll release. And there we go. It actually released and transformed afterwards. It's a really cool thing. I'm going to do it one more time because it is just so much fun. Both the revving up and priming and the actual release itself. So we are going to, one more time, it's combined together. I will prime it with this. I will then release by pushing it all the way. And you're going to see him actually transform. Here we go again. Ready? That is way too much fun. I mean, imagine if they were doing this in the 2020s, they probably would create an entire game out of this where you have the launchers and they battle together when they hit each other. I feel like they've done toys like that before. This thing is still unimaginative crap. There's so much more they could have done for a few extra cents to make this toy look somewhat like a robot you could actually play with. But the launching feature is just way too much fun, and I still think this guy is really super cool looking as well. Was it worth the $9.99 in 1984? I don't even want to convert to figure out what that would be worth in today's money. It was a lot back then. I probably not. Honestly, probably not. And yet, a lot of parents bought it and a lot of kids had it. And it's still something that I find really fun today. The joke of it is you can buy these for almost nothing on eBay these days because no one's looking for them and they're readily available. While they weren't the Transformers, they weren't GoBots, they weren't Voltron, they maybe weren't even Motobot. But there was a unique appeal to the Buddy L Chargertron. And whereas the Transformers was successful because it had such an expansive toy line, you might argue the success of this one was that there was only one. That $9.99 price point got you the complete Buddy L Chargertron experience, and it really was a fun experience. I hope it translated on a video today just how fun it was to press this revving button and watch this thing launch and transform. Way more fun than it should have been. It's a one-note wonder. It only does one thing, but man, it's fun for what it was. I strongly recommend scouring eBay and picking one up. It's a lot of fun. I hope you enjoyed the video today. If you did, please hit like and subscribe. It helps us tremendously. We love if you share the link on other platforms. My gosh, that helps us tremendously. Whoever's been sharing us in WhatsApp, we see you, and boy, we appreciate what you're doing. Thank you so very much for that. While you're waiting for new videos, do keep in mind that we have a lot of other things to explore. The fun continues at classiccomics.org, the Classic Comics Forum. We're a small, tight-knit, and very active community where you can get to really know the people you're talking to and be appreciated and make friends for life. classiccomics.org. We also have tons of other videos to check out on here and several other playlists worth considering from Classic Chiller Films, classic films of days gone by, lots of Bela Lugosi, Spinner Rack Redux, talk of old comic books there, and of course the CCF In-Depth podcast, where George and I wax prosaic and go on for way too long about obscure comic topics. Check them all out, come back next time, and of course in the meantime, stay weird.